ahead on 12 News. A spring storm that's not letting local residents forget about winter. Then, a Maple Grove woman who has good reason to be passionate about her work. Plus,
a level 3 sex offender is moving into a quiet Maple Grove neighborhood. Why the family he's staying with say he's no problem.
12 News starts right now. We begin with police looking for two men who held up two businesses just minutes apart in New Hope and Crystal.
Police believe the same people are responsible for both robberies. They're also looking to see if there's a connection to other recent armed robberies. Police in New Hope say two armed robbers held up the Pizza Hut restaurant on Bass Lake Road Friday morning. They tied up a female employee inside. It's not known, though, exactly what was stolen. Then just 18 minutes later, GameStop on 36th Avenue in Crystal was held up. In both cases, police say the robbers dressed as construction workers wearing bright yellow reflective vests and construction-type hats. The police are working with crime analysts to see if there is a pattern with other recent robberies, including the holdup of two thrift stores in New Hope in early February and other robberies at Subway sandwich shops. And if you have any information, you are asked to call police. Winter dealt spring another setback, making travel conditions tough and testing all of you who want some nicer weather.
In the Northwest Metro, we received nearly 10 inches of snow, according to an official weather observer in New Hope. For the season now, we've had 70 inches. That is 18 inches above normal. It's a cruel blow to songbirds, bare backyards, and local residents who migrated here and are maybe wondering what they've gotten themselves into. It feels a little like a bad dream where you wake up wondering, is that really happening? No! Yes.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Yes, it is.
This is a town we're supposed to be warming up, but for now, everywhere is so messed up.
Messed up roads, traffic snarls, dozens of metro spinouts, and close calls. It's certainly not the spring break.
And I need to chillax from all this snow.
9-year-old Rebecca Fluth and her cousins had in mind.
No! It's April! There's supposed to be no snow.
Yeah, I think snow should stay inside the winter.
Mom Amanda put the kids to work.
Absolutely. They're out from school, they're working. I'm not doing it by myself.
Even with help, it's a heavy April load.
It takes a while because there was a lot of snow all over the yard. And I've been doing it alone.
James Falla spent a few hours getting rid of the snow at his place. Originally from Liberia, he's learned to roll with the seasons here.
This is Mother Nature. Nothing we can do. We can't control this. It comes anytime, so we just have to live with it.
Embrace it. See the beauty, right? And once you get past the work, leave it to the kids to remind us that snow still can be fun.
After we're done shoveling, we are gonna play in the snow and maybe make some snow angels.
It's a good idea. Brooklyn Park is taking extra steps to keep up with all the snow. On Monday, the City Council is expected to approve taking $70,000 out of general fund reserves to pay for more road salt. Because of the severe winter, the city depleted its salt budget for the year. The emergency funds will help the city make sure that there's enough salt around for next winter. Maple Grove residents battled the snow Thursday night to hear from police about a level 3 sex offender moving into their neighborhood.
As you can imagine, there were a lot of concerned citizens at a community notification meeting. Reporter Sonia Goins has more.
So he was not known to the victims.
Dozens of people packed Maple Grove Senior High School Thursday night.
Back in 1979, his first predatory offense here, kidnapping.
They came to hear about this man, 52-year-old Paul Knutson.
Contact included penetration, force was used to gain compliance. Offender gained access to victims by entering their residences without permission.
In the mid to late 80s, Knutson broke into several homes and had sexual contact with adult females, including a woman with disabilities.
Very nervous about it, yeah. I have a disabled sister, so I was very concerned for her and young children at home.
Knutson has not committed any sexual crimes since being released in 2007, but some people are still worried.
I'm not happy with him living in our community at all.
I'm still a little apprehensive about the whole thing, and but what are you gonna do?
This is reality, and this is going on in our neighborhood, and Yeah, just being more aware and more vigilant.
Paul Knutson will be living somewhere along this street. We spoke with the family he's staying with. They say he's a changed man and just wants to get on with his life.
6 years ago, he accepted Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior, and his life has been transformed since then.
The family Knutson is staying with did not want to be identified, but they say Knutson has a wife and 2 kids. He was homeless and living in a van, so they decided to help him out.
My wife's first response was, the reason why we would do it is we're Christians. We believe in God, we believe in transformation.
The family says they informed their neighbors about Knutson moving in.
They actually know Paul. They talk with him, and I feel that they've said to me quite different times that they have no fear or upset with Paul being here.
The family told us Knutson is sorry for what he did and now wants to be an upstanding citizen.
Get on with his life and become back to society of value.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Knutson was arrested March 27th and was released shortly afterwards. Maple Grove police won't specify, but they say it has something to do with registering. Knutson is required to register as a predatory offender until December 2022. Brooklyn Park Police are looking for your help identifying the man in this photo. Police say he used a stolen credit card at the CVS on Brooklyn Boulevard back on March 23rd. They say he stole the credit card from a locked gym locker at Experience Fitness. If you have any information, call Brooklyn Park Police.
There's another milestone in redeveloping the former Brookdale Mall site. The last of the old food court is coming down. The developer determined the 123,000 square foot food court wasn't workable to attract tenants, so it'll be replaced with 10 new buildings. The developer hasn't named the tenants yet, but city officials expect those new buildings to go up in 2 phases over the next 2 years. Coming up, the perfect match that gave a Maple Grove woman a new lease on life.
And later in sports, the Armstrong girls lacrosse team shoots for big things after a trip to state last season.
But first, nothing but optimism in this forecast. A warmer weekend awaits and even 60s on our radar by the middle of next week.
How passionate are you about what you do for work every day?
One Maple Grove woman is thrilled to be working behind the scenes at a life-saving organization. 12 News reporter Shannon Slatton explains why.
Be the Match, it's on our building, and so when you're driving on 35, they're like, yeah, that dating service. Yeah, I saw the big building there. What do you guys do?
Cherise Vincent explains her job quite a bit.
When I tell people I work for Be the Match, they're like, oh, a dating service. So how did you get there? And are you utilizing the dating service?
But making a match here won't exactly find you love, but it could give you life.
This is very rewarding. I love my job.
Be the Match is the leading nonprofit organization in cord blood and bone marrow transplants. Cherise works behind the scenes in human resources.
Employee relations needs, any questions regarding recruitment, education and training, and things like that.
But it's more than a job to Cherise.
I felt that it was a godsend. I really did. I looked up to the sky and I said, thank you, God. I knew I was going to give back in some way, shape, or form, and this is the perfect opportunity.
Because years ago, when Cherise was a baby, a bone marrow transplant saved her life.
My parents agreed and said, anything that you can do for my daughter, please do so. And so I received the bone marrow transplant in February of 1978.
Doctors found a match in her oldest brother, 9-year-old Richmond Jr.
He knew he was saving his little sister.
But many people can't find a match in their own family.
Each and every year, more than 12,000 patients come to Be the Match for a life-saving cord or bone marrow transplant.
Which is why the registry asks for healthy donors ages 18 to 44 to sign up.
If you have a diverse heritage background, if you're African American, as Cherise, if you're of any ethnicity, we need you to join now.
Because a match made here could save a life.
I wouldn't be here if my brother wasn't a match.
In Minneapolis, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
You can sign up on the registry by following directions on the Be the Match website. To sign up, the organization asks that you be committed to being a donor until you reach the age of 61. Coming up, a tour of what's happening around town in Weekend Showcase.
But first in sports, the Cooper baseball team looks to contend in the final season of the North Suburban Conference. Jay Wilcox has a season preview coming up next.
Well, it won't be long now. We hope that a lot of these teams will be able to get outside, including Lacrosse.
That's a sport that a lot of the schools do play on artificial turf, so that's certainly going to help, at least for getting out there. The Armstrong girls lacrosse team should be set for another strong season. The Falcons won the consolation championship at state last year and lost just 2 starters to graduation. Here's Jason Malillo with more.
There's no lack of experience for the Falcons this spring, with almost their entire state tournament team returning.
Our second string was just as strong as our first, so I'm not scared at all for having to fill those spots.
We didn't lose too many people last year, so I think it's going to even be better than last year, because it was almost like we can build off of that, you know, so we're just going to come out even better than last year, I think.
And there shouldn't be any lack of firepower either. Armstrong brings back its top 2 scorers, but this team has offense up and down the roster.
That's kind of our style of play, is that by spreading the scoring around, we're very difficult to defend. And then if we give the ball to one of our studs and they, man marker or double teamer, she can usually pass it off, because it's very important that we play without the ball, be in the right position to support the ball carrier. And once somebody else has the ball, the defense is usually out of position, and we can score very quickly, and a lot.
The Falcons made their first state tournament last year, losing in the first round to eventual champion Blake. The Bears were the only team that beat Armstrong in 2013.
We just need to stay up to their pace. It just seems like they're a little bit quicker and just know the field a little bit better. So I think just staying up to their level will help us a lot.
Armstrong has been a strong program for several years now, but the Falcons are still one notch below the elite teams. Coach Bill Moyer is confident his girls are ready to take that next step and could do it in 2014. Jason Malillo, 12 Sports.
Armstrong opens its season with back-to-back games. The Falcons will play district rival Cooper on April 14th. Then it's a rematch against defending state champion Blake the next night. In prep baseball, Cooper's usually been in the hunt in the North Suburban Conference. After a bit of a drop-off last spring, the Hawks hope to contend this year. One thing the Cooper baseball team will be this spring, versatile.
It's a fun group of kids. It's a bunch of kids who can do a lot of different things. Previous years we've had, kids in different roles, where this year we might throw 8 different 9 pitchers, from being a catcher to an infielder to an outfielder. So it's going to be a different type of year as far as making a lineup.
The Hawks have 4 starters returning and some pitching depth too. Many workouts have been indoors with some occasional time on the artificial turf football soccer field.
Well, it's tough, especially with all the other sports, to just get any space, especially right now, we have the entire program in one gym, but we're making the best of it.
To try to make it fun, I started Monday out and said, guys, we got to get stuff done, but we also got to make it fun, and we got to stay positive, and we can't control the weather. So our whole conditioning last week was a little Stanley Cup floor hockey series, 5 days, and kids really enjoyed that. Coaches played.
It's the final season of the North Suburban Conference before Cooper moves into the new Metro West. The Hawks won a share of the conference in 2010 and 2011, and they'd like to grab one last title this spring.
A lot of the teams, they've lost a lot of players just like we have. They're in the same boat as us. I feel like we're a lot more deep in the pitching staff than a lot of teams are. So, we're really a really good contender for winning it this year.
My older brother was on one of the teams that won back-to-back. So, for me, it's definitely a goal, family goal. So, yeah, it's always a goal to try to win. If you're not here to win, then I don't know why you're here. So,
Cooper moves into a new playoff section this season. They'll compete in Section 6-3A with Armstrong, Wayzata, Hopkins, among others. The Hawks' scheduled opener Saturday against Blake has been postponed. They'll host Washburn Wednesday if field conditions permit. Well, Cooper fans would have liked to see basketball star Rashad Vaughn playing for the Hawks this winter. Instead, Vaughn moved to Las Vegas to play for National Power Findlay Prep. Vaughn's Findlay Prep team playing in the Dick's Sporting Goods National High School Tournament semifinals against Oak Hill Academy Friday. Number 1 Vaughn had 8 points as Findlay lost in the semifinals Friday afternoon. The championship is Saturday morning on ESPN. So a little national exposure for Rashad. He didn't have an especially good game, and they ended up blowing a lead in that one.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jay.
You bet.
Still ahead, a Brooklyn Park woman in the running for a special honor.
Plus, some great exhibits to help fill out your weekend plans. That's coming up in Weekend Showcase. A Brooklyn Park woman is in the running to become Ms. Wheelchair USA. 33-year-old Jen Onsom has spinal muscular atrophy, a disease that weakens her muscles. She speaks to groups around town about keeping a positive attitude.
Certainly not something that comes easily, but it's a really important part of life, especially if you have a disability. You need to stand up for yourself and speak up for yourself.
And this is Jen's second year in the Ms. Wheelchair USA competition. She will compete for the title in July in Ohio. And Jen is hosting a pancake breakfast fundraiser Saturday morning to help pay for her trip to Ohio. It's being held at Grace Lutheran Church from 9 to 12:30. There are a variety of other fun events happening around town this weekend as well.
Reporter Cassie Bonstrom gives us a sneak peek in today's Weekend Showcase.
The city of Plymouth is hosting their 18th annual Primavera Arts Celebration now through Sunday. Head over to the Plymouth Creek Center to view original artwork by local teens and adults. Organizers say there's a little bit of something for everyone.
Some people really like contemporary art. They really like abstract art. Other people favor the representational. They like pictures of people or, things that they can recognize. And so it's really a show for everybody.
The art show is open all weekend. It's free and open to the public. North Hennepin Community College is also showing off their student artwork in an exhibition. Now through April 25th, the public is welcome to stop by the Fine Arts Gallery and take a peek. The artwork is the best work made throughout the year and is juried by local professional artists. It's open Monday through Friday or by appointment. There is no cost to attend.
And lastly, the Brooklyn Park Police Department is holding their 3rd annual Safety Expo on Saturday here at the Community Activity Center.
Families are invited to learn more about how to keep their homes safe, and you can also purchase kids' bike helmets.
One of the things that'll be there is we'll have a real fire, an opportunity for people to take a fire extinguisher and actually put out the fire so they can kind of learn the skill to how to use the fire extinguisher. We'll also have some skills to teach people about how to properly buckle up their children using car seats properly.
The event runs on Saturday from 12 to 3 p.m. with a canine demonstration at 1. The event is free.
Should have some free time if you don't have to shovel, all right? No shoveling,
No shoveling. We're
this
done with
weekend.
that.
Shovel-free weekend. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Community Corner is coming up next, and have a great weekend, everyone.